Good morning, everybody. It is Monday morning, the 20th of May. I have a few minutes before I have to go to work, and I want to tell you some good news. So, one, I feel better today than I have for quite some time. And I think I know why. I've thrown a lot of different things at my problem of just not feeling really good. But yesterday I went for a walk, and I went for an extra long walk because part of my problem had been my legs were just achy and I hadn't been sleeping very well. So my energy was low and I just did not feel very good. And so I'm like, I started that estrogen last Wednesday and started some collagen, the Vital Proteins collagen on Friday. So I've thrown a few things, but I will say, when I went for that walk yesterday, I was fully expecting to not go for a walk this morning because I figured my legs would be really hurting, and that was kind of happening a lot. It was like I would work out at the gym, and then for, you know how it is, for a couple of days, your legs just kind of hurt because everything hurts when you move. And today I got up and I didn't have that problem. So I did go for another walk. But this is one of the things that there's a couple of things I want to share real quick. One, I was talking to a friend of mine over the weekend, and she brought up this Dr. Mary Claire Haver that I was talking about last week that I feel is changing the world. She is on her mission. She is dropping some truth bombs. I ordered her book yesterday. It was on sale, 50% off of Amazon, and I didn't even know that when I went there, but I was like number 13 in the line at the library, and I'm like, I don't want to wait that long. I want to know what this woman has to say. I've been watching her videos, and as I watch her videos, I feel more and more excitement coming into my soul. Part of it is because I feel like she is, one, acknowledging that she was part of the problem in the past. She fully admits, she's like, I was one of those people when I was younger and people would come to me with these problems. She would be like, move more, eat less. That's what all the fucking doctors want to say. Eat less, move more. And everything else that's going on with your body is your fault. I mean, I can remember going to I can remember lots of times that I went to the doctors and being blown off. I had to go back 3 times to get my thyroid checked, and I ended up and I had Graves' disease after I forced the doctor to have my thyroid levels checked. I know when I first started going through what I would call perimenopause, and I was like bleeding 2 weeks at a time, I did find somebody who could help with some of the hormonal balancing and everything. But once I kind of got past that period, then it was still a feeling of like every time I went to the doctor, it was my fault. Everything was always my fault. And yes, a lot of it is. But I feel like I wasn't warned. I wasn't warned about all of the stuff that we cannot control because of hormones dropping. So anyway, I know I'm getting off on a tangent. Anyway, so I'm talking to my friend Nicole yesterday, and she brings up this Dr. Mary Claire Haver, that her therapist was telling her about. And I had already kind of mentioned watching her, and then we collided with the same name. So when I say she is making the rounds, she is hitting all of the YouTube channels, a lot of the podcasts, and it's like she is coming out of the gate. She has a new book, like I said, she has a new book out, and she is sharing her struggles with the medical community, which we've all known there's been problems, especially in the last 4 years. We know that we have not been getting the truth from the medical community. We know they have been lying to us. We know that they have, done what they need to make the money, and then what doesn't make money is like, screw it. So one of the things that she said, and I don't think I brought this up the other day, was there was a study that came out, and I think it was 2022, that scared the living bejesus out of women about HRT giving everybody breast cancer. And that's not really what the test said. So she shared more in depth about that. And, you know, and I think that I kind of fell into that category of like in my 20s and 30s hearing about that. So it wasn't like that's the first thing I thought I was going to do when I got to a certain age, is go on that, because they had quit talking about it for a long time. And new studies have come out, and maybe it's not as bad as everybody, you know, was pretending it was being for a long time. So listening to her talk about like the before and after of that is amazing. One of the other things that she brought up the other day was, well, I'm not even going to go there. I'll talk about that at a later time. Sorry, I'm going to get off on a tangent again. So anyway, I strongly suggest, no matter what phase you're in, if you are 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, low estrogen levels affect absolutely everything in the body. It causes, you know, heart disease is like the leading killer of women. It's not breast cancer, it's heart disease. Well, one of the reasons it's heart disease is because lower estrogen brings that part on. It messes with your cholesterol, it messes with your blood sugar, it messes with your sleep, it messes with this, that, and everything. And it's no wonder that women my age are a little cranky, or a lot cranky, like I had been the last few months. And so I just mentally, I feel so much better knowing that the Calvary has kind of shown up and help is on the way, and it's not all in my head. It's not all ascension symptoms that we cannot do anything about. So I'm a little confused and angry about a lot of things, because I feel like I maybe misled some people too, because I believed what I was being told. And anyway, so one of the other things I want to talk about real quick, and I know that I'm sorry this is all over the place. I'm trying to talk fast so I can get out of here and go to work. Back at the beginning of the year, I got a cast iron skillet. And one of the things that I was making was Dutch baby pancakes, but I was using almond flour because it was not so carby. And I got on a kick of doing that. Well, I didn't realize at the time it had something to do with that thing I was making all the time, but my right hip started hurting really bad. I noticed it probably in March, when I would like have a hard time. I'd go for a walk or something and trying to get my shoe off, or tie my shoe, my hip was hurting really, really bad. Well, I started asking God, Spirit, Source, for information or answers on to some of these problems that I could not figure out. And I feel like they have brought me the people that they needed. And in this case, it was about isolates, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but I had heard about those about a year ago when I started doing the carnivore diet, and there were some videos that I would see the title of that said, "Plants are trying to kill us." And I refused to watch those at the time, because I was like, no, I do not believe plants are trying to kill us. I am a big believer in plant medicine. But for whatever reason, I was walking one day and part of the subject of isolates got on there. And one of the things that I realized was I had been consuming a lot of almond flour in those Dutch baby pancakes. And apparently almonds have a very high isolate in it, which is almost like is a crystal or something that gets in the body. Anyway, long story short, when I quit eating those and not consuming almonds or almond flour, the hip pain has gone from, like, we'll say it was a 10 down to maybe a 2. I mean, I can still notice it there a little bit, but I mean, it happened very quickly once I got the almond stuff out of my system. One of the things that she said is, and I don't eat a lot of spinach, but apparently Spinach is one of the plants that has a lot of isolates in it. So a lot of these people have been eating certain fruits and vegetables and different things, greens especially, because they're thinking it's good for you. Well, there is certain things that in it that's good, vitamins and different things that is good for the body. But at the same time, these plants have some of these poisonous attributes because they're trying to keep these animals from eating everything and making them go extinct. So Sally, I think her name is Sally K. Norton, but you can look it up on, I watched several videos on the internet on isolates, ISALATES, I think. And so I have started noticing and asking questions to people that may be talking about aches and pains. And one of the account reps in my office was talking about having really bad back pains. And I was telling her, I'm like, maybe you should look into this isolates and see what that is about. So anyway, she said she eats a lot of spinach. And I was like, that might be part of the problem, because it builds up a toxicity in your body that no one ever told us about. You know, again, there's information out there, but this is what the problem has been. This is one of the reasons that I quit doing videos for a while, was because there was so much freaking information coming right, left, and center, and none of it made sense. It was like, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad. Everything was canceling each other out. And there was this massive amount of overload of information, and I just was like, I can't take anymore. I can't add any more of this information to my brain because it's not computing. But now that I've stepped away for a while and asked for guidance from my spirit guides, God, source, whatever, they started bringing in people that I could trust. Sally K. Norton talking about that. She's the one that, you know, basically said, if I was going to take anything off my list, it would be almonds. And I'm sitting there going, shit, I've been eating almond flour a lot lately. And then, you know, trying to figure out what was wrong with just me in general for the last couple of years and why I just felt like shit all the time. And that would have been Mary Claire Haver. So, again, don't assume that, I mean, everybody can feel better. So if you're feeling bad, just check into what she has to say. There is probably something that you can do. It might not be that difficult, but sometimes not sometimes, always is knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And I feel like I've gotten some good knowledge and some truth and some stuff that resonates with me that I haven't been able to weed through for a while because there was just too much. So that's what I want to talk about today. Like I said, I feel good today. I'm like, my legs are not just killing me, which I really thought they would be after yesterday. And so I'm kind of like, holy crap, I'm going for another walk today because I don't just feel like I've been run over with like a Mack truck. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great week. Bye.